got some rather sad news for Oklahoma Sooner basketball fans. So, head coach Lon Kruger has retired after 45 years in coaching. Just a little bit of background on his time with the Oklahoma Sooners. He's been in charge of the Sooners for the past decade. He led them to 7 NCAA tournaments and a Final Four appearance in 2016. This year, they finished 16-11 overall, going 9-8 in the Big 12. And before going to Oklahoma, he was the coach of the University of Las Vegas, UNLV. He coached them to 4 NCAA tournament appearances in 7 seasons, and including a Sweet 16 run in 2007. I'm trying to find a quote here, which I did. The Oklahoma athletic director, Joe Castiglione, he said, and I quote, his track record of successfully rebuilding programs everywhere he coached is made even more impressive when considering how he did it. He won the integrity, humility, class, and grace. He did it with superior leadership skills and a genuine kindness that included his constant encouragement of everyone around him. Um, so this is kind of interesting too, Nate. I just want to say this. So Kruger's son, Kevin, he was recently named the head coach at the University of Las Vegas, which is obviously the college I just mentioned, the college that his father used to coach at before going to Oklahoma. And yeah, now it's time for Oklahoma to find a new coach in men and women's. Now remember, Sherri Coale also retired, and she was the women's basketball coach as well. So both of them have retired. And this article, it was written by Jeff Borzello, ESPN staff writer. So you know what, Nate, you go first. Your thoughts on Lon Kruger retiring?
Yeah, first of all, I wish him the best of luck in retirement. 45 years of coaching is obviously a long accolade. He's accomplished a lot. Um, one thing that surprises me a lot about his career, well, obviously he made 20 NCAA tournaments, which isn't surprising given that he had 45 years to do that, which is absolutely incredible. He made two Final Four appearances, and he's just one of three coaches to lead five different programs to the NC tournament. The NCAA tournament, excuse me, NC tournament. But the only other two coaches that did that were Rick Pitino and Tubby Smith. So for him to be one of three coaches to take five different teams to a tournament like that, honestly, I gotta be honest with you, Mario. It is pretty impressive, and I'm glad you brought up that the Sooners had to look for two basketball coaches because I almost forgot Sherri Coale retired. We talked about that about a week ago. We'll link that in the description down below if you want to go check that out. But with that being said, I wish Oklahoma the best of luck in finding new coaches for their basketball programs. I wish Lon Kruger the best of luck in retirement. I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors, and I'll pass it on to you now, Mario. Great career from him.
Sorry, absolutely. When you coach 45 years in college basketball, that is definitely something to behold. Right now, I'm looking up like Oklahoma NBA players that came out of Oklahoma themselves. So hang on a second, let me look it up. Oklahoma University NBA players. So right now, I'm looking at players. One of them, I think this was like the year before. This was the year before he came out. Uh, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was was playing for the Oklahoma Sooners in 2009. And then a couple of them that you might know of is Buddy Hield and a guy named Trey Young. So let me tell you something. Buddy Hield and Trey Young. Those are two very, very good basketball players right now playing in the game. Um, yeah, so I mean, when you look at them, like those are obviously two players that are playing at a high level in the NBA, and they were coached under Luke Kruger himself. So I mean, for him to coach 45 years at Oklahoma and to do exactly what he's did, like you mentioned, one out of three coaches to lead five different programs to the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament is not an easy tournament to get into. You know, people might think because it's 64 teams it is, but it's really not. You know, if that was the case, every college would get in, but it's not, you know. And for him to lead them there, like you said, he made two Final Four appearances as well. Like for him to lead them to those types of to lead them that far into the playoffs as well, two different times, is absolutely pretty special, you know. And I want to say Lon Kruger is probably one of the most underrated college coaches to play the game, to coach the game. Excuse me, not play, coach. Obviously, when we think about college coaches, we think about Coach K, John Calipari. We think about Roy Williams, John Boheim, not John, excuse me, Jim Boheim. Jim Boheim, part of Syracuse. We think about those guys right there. You know, guys who have like over 900 wins in coaching. You know, and have been coaching for a very very long time. But Lon Kruger isn't some guy that comes to our mind. You know, like we don't give Lon Kruger enough credit for helping Trey Young. We don't give him enough credit for helping Buddy Hield. And I think it's time to give him a little bit of credit because I think the greatness in those players I think it started to come out with Lon Kruger. So, I mean, with that being said, you know, I wish the Oklahoma Sooners men's basketball team and the women's basketball team the best of luck in finding new coaches. And I wish Lon Kruger the best of luck in retirement.